Hey, welcome everyone. It is 6 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m. It's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 55 degrees outside. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And Shane is on. I'm on. How you doing, man?
We're on, we're ready, we're here.
We are ready to go. Yeah, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And, boy, we're excited to be here with you guys. And, yesterday, Shane, we finalized the night with Tom and Shane.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so we are going to be,
cool is that?
huh? Cool as that?
This
It
is
is
cool.
It's really cool. Yeah,
I'm almost nervous. Okay. Go.
yeah, right. All right. We are going to be at the GranTree, the Hyalite Room, the 26th of July, 6 to whenever, 6 to 8, 9, whatever, how long ever people want to stay. We're figuring on food for 5, so including us, of course. So hopefully 5 of you will show up. Well, maybe more than that. I don't know. Shane may bring the whole family out there, so that'll be 5 people.
God. Oh my gosh. Folks, you have to help me out here because I'm convinced that at least a couple hundred people might be interested to listen to what we have to say and have a great time talking about all kinds of topics. That's the whole idea.
Okay, well, we'll be talking about it for the next month. But anyway, it's going to be at the GranTree in the Hyalite Room. That's on the back of the GranTree, their convention center entrance back there. We're the first door going in, and we kind of need to know how many people might come because we got to have food and stuff like that for you. We don't want you to run out of food or coffee or booze or whatever. So gotta have you there. And of course, we'll have some prizes and stuff like that. So yeah, it should be a fun evening. So if you think you're going to come and you got a smartphone, let us know on the app chat on the smartphone. Let us know if you're going to make it or not, and maybe how many of you there might be, and get over there and do that. And that'll help us kind of plan this thing because we've got a month to do it, or almost a month anyway. And
that's right.
We don't want to stiff anybody on food or whatever. So, and we need to know how many tables and chairs and stuff we need. So yeah, let us know on the app chat, which is on your smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS. It's right next to the listen button. Just click on that and send us yeah, I'll be there with 2 people, 3 people, 10 people, 80 people, 4 people, whatever. Let us know. So yeah, we want to make sure it's a fun evening for everybody and make sure we've got enough refreshments for you and all that stuff. So we'd love to meet you and love to ask us anything you want. We're open books for the most part. I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're pretty much open book, and you can bring your own topics, which would be great.
That's right. Yeah, bring your own.
So then we don't have to try to figure out what you want to talk about, and you can have the microphone and
we'll
fire away.
Yeah, we'll do it all. So. All right, well, Gallatin Valley weather, we got to talk about that because, oh my gosh, it's nasty for the 4th of July weekend here.
Uh-oh.
We got a slight chance of rain before 1 o'clock, and then a chance of showers and thunderstorms between 1 and 4, then showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm after 4 p.m. So increasing clouds. We're looking for a high of near 78. We'll have... But winds could gust to as high as 18 miles an hour. So if you're out there shooting fireworks, be careful where the sparks fly. You may set someone's house on fire.
Not good.
Not good, yeah. Chance of precip's about 60%. And then tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 10 p.m. Then showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m., then a chance of rain after 1, so mostly cloudy. Low will be around 53. A gust of wind could be as high as 23 miles an hour during that. and the chance of precip is 60%. Rainfall amounts tenth to a quarter of an inch. There might be higher amounts of that during thunderstorms. So, but on Wednesday, we're looking for Wednesday the 3rd, I guess I should say. We're looking for a high of 65, a low of 48. Thunderstorms there. The 4th, 69, 48, the overnight low. It's going to be chilly out there watching those fireworks in 48-degree weather. So bundle up and start the fire or whatever and have a good time out there. But be careful. Scattered thunderstorms throughout the area, and we're looking for some measurable precip on the 4th and the 5th. So 73 will be the high on Friday the 5th, and the weekend looks pretty good. Saturday, 79, mostly sunny, and Sunday is 79 and partly cloudy, but rain leaves the area pretty much. So you might want to hold off on the fireworks till the weekend. I don't know, either or. But anyway, it's going to be a pretty nasty 4th. So do what I always do: have a happy 4th, pick up a 5th on the 3rd. There you are.
5th of a 3rd, and drink it all.
Well, yeah. Well, there you are. Temperatures around the area. Livingston is 49 degrees right now. Manhattan is 49. Three Forks is 50. Gallup Gateway is 53. Ennis is 50. Big Sky is 46. And at the airport in Belgrade is 52. And right now at our lavishly appointed studios down here in downtown Bozeman, it is 54 degrees at 12 minutes after the hour. So there we are. Our poll question of the day: should the citizenship question be on the ballot, or on the census, I should say?
Yes.
Yeah. Should it be on the census? And yesterday's poll: which quality is a must-have in a romantic relationship? 46% said have similar beliefs or values as you, and 15% said a good sense of humor, and 11% tied with the ability to compromise and honesty. So that was the top ones yesterday. So let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, how you guys doing? This is Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. How was your day?
My day, well, it just started. Who knows?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't done any damage. You haven't done any damage yet, so be calm.
Well, I called yesterday and I got cut off in the middle of my spiel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, if I cut you off, I was up against the clock and the computer would have taken us off anyway. So sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
But I was talking about George Mason and those judges.
Right.
And George Mason, he's the co-author of the Second Amendment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And at the Virginia Convention, where they were deciding to impart the Bill of Rights into the Constitution,
right? Mm-hmm.
George Mason was asked, well, what's a militia? He was asked to define what the Second Amendment meant, right? Mm-hmm. So, and he defined it. He said, the militia is the whole of the people, and to disarm the people is the quickest way to enslave them.
Yep, I'd agree.
That's the whole reason that Second Amendment was put in there. It's the original agreement with the state, and it wasn't just for the federal government. It was a nationwide ban on infringing on the right to own and bear arms. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't say Congress shall not. You know, the First Amendment says Congress shall not respect the establishment of a religion.
Right, yeah.
The Second Amendment specifically says the right of the people to own and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Right. And the Supreme Court's pretty well held that up. Even in District of Columbia, they said, "Hey, you can have a firearm in the District of Columbia, whether you want."
But actually, they didn't, Tom.
Yeah.
They incorporated all the Bill of Rights onto the state. So the First Amendment. Now the states can't get involved in religion too. You know, but they did not incorporate the Second Amendment. That's the only one they didn't incorporate. So they said that the Second Amendment, the only amendment that was incorporated to the whole country, all the states and the federal government, they said, well, we're going to undo that. We're going to make that just for the federal government. So now states have these stupid laws where you can't have, you know, round high capacity magazines, and you got to have this, that, and the other thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
well, you're right about that. Yeah, you are right about that. I will give you that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a very right guy.
You are a right guy.
But so, and here's the funny thing. One of the arguments that a lot of people put out there, they say, well, hey, so it says that a militia, a well-regulated militia, that's who the right to own and bear arms is for.
Yeah.
How stupid is that you have to write a law into the Bill of Rights saying that if you are a soldier, you have the right to be armed? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Who would make that law? Of course you have a right to be armed if you're a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers, you can't go be a soldier. You're not considered a soldier without a gun.
Be pretty hard. Be pretty hard. It'd be pretty hard to make a case you're a soldier without a gun. Yeah.
All Trump had to do is change the rules of engagement.
Yeah.
In Syria to wipe out the caliphate. I mean, if you're a military person and you're in the field and you're told by your commanders, I'm sorry, you can't shoot at anyone unless they shoot at you first. Wow, that's really great.
Well,
that's like being third on the match in World War I.
Yeah, we had a similar rule to that in Vietnam, but our self-preservation trumped that rule.
Did you really?
Right.
Oh yeah. That rule?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
But
modern
era.
But we didn't always follow that rule.
I would not think so. Yeah.
No, and I'll tell you what, with all these cops getting off on shooting people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a suspicion that he might have had a gun. I didn't know what he had, and I just had to shoot him first.
Yeah.
I don't understand how the police officers in this country have less stringent qualification for shoot to kill than the soldiers do. Yeah. But back to the original
it's
point.
It's called anarchy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
back to the original point, though. The right to own and bear arms. These judges are going around and doing stuff that's overtly unconstitutional. That Constitution was written so you and I could understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And to say that the people don't have a say, like you got to be a judge to be able to interpret the Constitution.
Yeah. Well,
the interpretation wasn't given to the judges. If interpretation, I'll tell you what. Everybody says that this judicial review is that's what the judges that the court's there for. It's BS because the founding fathers wouldn't have had an interpretive body while they were still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been an amendment after all their deaths, because all they would have had to do is ask them, "Hey, Thomas, what's the Second Amendment mean? Or what did you mean by the First Amendment?" They didn't need the judges to interpret it. And Thomas Jefferson was pissed in Marbury Madison when the justice came down and said, "Hey, we're taking over judicial review. We have the right to interpret the law." It wasn't what their intention was for the court.
Yeah.
So these judges need impeached, and we need to jail them and impeach them. Is seriously what Trump needs to do.
Well, the important thing you got to remember is the reelection of Trump is not just Supreme Court. He has appointed more judges, I think, than Obama did at this point in his presidency. And
145.
And you've got a Republican Senate that will confirm those judges. So I think
Obama justices are a little bit more conservative than Trump's.
Well, some are, that's for sure. At least in the Supreme Court rulings recently, they've kind of gone against type. But maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
But the fact that we're saying they're going against type means that they're not following the Constitution. They're following political ideology.
Well, to some extent they are. I guess it's our interpretation of the Constitution may be different than theirs, but I don't know.
But it's plainly written.
It should be. Yeah, it is pretty plainly written. That's for sure. Yeah.
And there's about 645 federal judgeships, and because of the timing in this, the way this has happened with Clinton, then Bush, then Obama, you're going to see that if Trump gets reelected for another 4 years, he will probably get close to replacing 400 of those judges. Yeah, 2/3 of them. Yeah, because of the timing.
And it's anybody's guess what they're going to rule when they're on the bench.
Yeah, so, that's right.
I mean, it is.
You start impeaching some of them. Mm-hmm. I had a history teacher, and he was a great history teacher. Loved Vietnam. He spent half the year on Vietnam. But he said, "You want to get rid of drugs in this country? if the government went into the ghetto and started shooting every drug dealer, they would have to shoot about 15, and there would be no more drugs in this whole country.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Yeah.
That's anarchy.
Yeah.
It's not anarchy. It's totalitarianism. But the point is, if we impeach one of these judges, if we impeach two of these judges, the rest of them will shape up and leave their political ideology at the door.
Well, that would be nice if they would. So I got to take a break because we got to get the news nag.
Are you cutting me off again,
I'm cutting you off, Aaron. Don't ever call here again.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
All right, thanks, Aaron.
See you later,
Have a good day.
Okay, bye. 27 minutes after the hour, it is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 54 degrees outside, looking for a high of around 75 and rain the next 4 or 5 days in a row. So get your umbrella out, and we're not going to have much of a day in history today, Shane. So we'll, I don't know, maybe we'll just remind people that a night with Tom and Shane coming up on July 26th at the GranTree Hyalite Room. It's on the back side where the convention center is located, and parking back there is spacious and plenty of it. So you can go back there and come in and see us. We'll be there at 6 o'clock on the 26th. It's a Friday night, so we don't have to get up and go to work here at 6 a.m. the next morning. So
and I think the only thing we should do, because of the 4th of July this weekend, remind everyone of the Lee Resolution. It was a resolution for independence. It was a formal assertion passed by the Second Continental Congress on July 2nd, 1776, which declared the establishment of a new country of United Colonies, independent of the British Empire, to become the United States of America. And this was then approved 2 days later by the adoption of the, Declaration of Independence on the 4th of July. So there you go. That's why today is important for America.
That's an important day. Yep. And incidentally, we will be here on the 4th of July. Shane and I are going to work the 4th of July and the 5th of July. We'll be the only ones in this building. Everybody else is taking off and whining, getting a 4-day weekend, but we are dedicated to this job. So we will be here on the 4th.
That's right. Now, all you people that hit the road early, listen up. Download.
That's right. Got to do it. All right. We will be back right after the news at the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned. 23 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 54 degrees outside. And from our text line, Shane, looking forward to a Tom and Shane get-together.
That is good.
Okay. From our text line, 478-8298. So when are you starting the defense fund for the Border Patrol agents that were part of the Facebook group I'm 1015? They seem to hold the same views as you two. Do you support their views? And I would say, for the benefit of the listeners who don't know, 1015 is Customs and Border Protection Code for aliens in custody. I'm 1015 is the secret Facebook group for current and former CBP officers who participates, create and share a torrent of racist and sexist memes, as well as jokes about the death of immigrants in their care. And if you've listened to this program longer than 15 seconds, you'd know that's complete BS. That we have never made fun of immigrants or people dying or anything else on this show. So
no, that's insanity.
If you're hearing that, you've pretty well displayed your ignorance of what we do here. So no.
I think we refer to that as fake news.
Yeah. Do we support their views? Of course not.
No, of course not.
And nor do I support AOC's views on the same topic, that their concentration camps and all the other.
Exactly, and the comments that she made, and it was crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
crazy gate.
Everybody's been down there. Everybody that it'd be easier to count the politicians that haven't been there than the ones that have. And she seems to be the only one that sees glaring deficiencies in what the Border Patrol is doing down there. So.
Yeah, but none of them have gone to the Appalachians to see the conditions that people live in Arkansas and Kentucky and Tennessee and gone to the inner cities apparently, and they don't watch TV of the issue with drugs and homeless. I mean, wow. With everything that's happening in your country for these representatives of government.
Yeah, I was going to say, take a look at Brooklyn, AOC.
Oh yeah, exactly.
see how that works out for you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as far as the thing about the border, I don't know that Shane and I. Well, I can't speak for Shane. He can certainly speak for himself.
You can always speak for me.
Well, okay. I don't know that we have a particular position on the border other than illegal people are crossing into our country and somebody's going to have to take care of them, and that is you and I. And that's the issue that we have, whether it takes a wall, whether it takes the military, whether it takes more border patrol people, whatever. You can't have 100,000 people streaming across your border every month. You know, I mean, look at San Francisco, look at Los Angeles, look at San Diego, look at Phoenix, look at New York, look at all these places where it's tent cities as far as you can see.
Portland, Seattle, they're all going to collapse.
Well, obviously, somebody, the needles and everything everywhere, all the drugs that are pouring in there, the diseases that are pouring in there. I mean, you can be as compassionate as you want about people fleeing, oppressive countries for a better life. Hey, we all have that, but there's a way to do it.
Well, and the bottom line is that, the Democratic Party is the lead on all this. So if you want to know how they're going to handle the Green Deal,
well, they finally.
And if you want to know how they're going to handle healthcare,
well,
look at how they're handling the border. They're just ignoring it.
Well, Nancy finally got around to doing the $4.6 billion to give aid down there. Finally, after what, 4 weeks, a month, they were fighting over this thing in the Senate and the House and whatever, and they finally had to do it before they went on their vacation.
Well, and the polls showed that the American people have turned against the Democrats, on this policy. They realized that American people realize there is a national emergency, and it is
it wasn't a manufactured crisis, as everybody cried about.
Exactly.
So, all right.
Exactly, and
all right. We got to take a break. We got a caller waiting on the phone chain. If you'll talk to them, we'll be right back right after these important words. It is 16 minutes before the top of the hour. It is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 55 degrees outside. Did that spot just have one commercial? I missed that completely. I don't know, Shane. I was out to lunch on that one, I think. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. 522-8255. Caller, thanks for waiting. You're on the KMMS Soapbox with Tom and Shane.
Hi, my name is Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, I have a question.
Sure.
You and Shane are just speaking about the people coming into the country illegally and then how you and I have to support these people.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, as far as I know, we do through taxes and whatever. They got to eat. They got to do something.
So at the end of the year, why can't I deduct them from my taxes?
You should.
I can't even deduct my own kids at a certain age.
I know.
Because they're too old. But yet I have to pay for these people? Well, that doesn't seem right.
That doesn't seem right to me either, I'll tell you. What you need to do is you need to go out and find some illegals, and you need to grab onto the youngest ones. And, I think you can take up to 15 deductions under the IRS. So... if you can find 15 kids that you can claim as your own, go for it.
I said
but then do they have to live in my house?
I don't know if they have to live in your house or not. That'd be an IRS issue. Maybe get out and talk to the IRS and tell them, hey, this is my plan.
Or contact Gene Forte and Steve Daines and have them propose legislation that Americans should be entitled to have.
Yeah, you should be able to. There should be an immigration credit on your taxes.
That's right.
Yes,
they should create an because it's like $150 billion right now.
Yeah, so
I'm supporting my son. He decided to go back to college, quit the workforce, and he wanted to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So now I'm supporting him, but yet he lives on his own, owns his own house, but I can't declare him.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then these people who come in here illegally, I can't, they're taking my money and I can't declare them either.
Nope. Well, apparently, as I say, I write your congressman. Let's get that immigration credit passed.
All right, man.
We'll take care of it.
We'll see you guys later.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call.
It's a great idea.
That is a good idea. Yeah, we should do that.
It'd be like $500 to $1,000 per taxpayer. That's a lot of,
Why not? Hey, let's take that on. 522 Talk is the number. Caller, thanks for waiting. You're on the Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Yeah, this is Bill. I don't know if you guys were listening over the news break or already talked about it, but I see Nike, because of the complaints of Colin Kaepernick and some others, are removing a shoe that had a replica of Betsy Ross's flag on the heel because they said that was from an era of slavery and it's offensive to blacks.
Yeah. So, we were going to talk about that coming up in about 15 minutes, but we'll talk about it now since you're on the phone. I saw that news report this morning, and that Shane and I were talking about it off air, and it's just amazing to me that a company can be intimidated to this extent for something so trivially ridiculous.
Well, and what could be more a symbol of freedom than Betsy Ross's flag?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so angry. Now I know why I never buy Nike.
Yeah.
I never will.
Yeah. Well, it's another,
me to no end.
Well, and it's another instance of where, a company is intimidated by what they think will happen, and to their credit, there are a lot of people, who buy their shoes who are the same race as Colin Kaepernick, and they feel that he has their heart and soul, and they will boycott that shoe. So, it's a loser for them. So they'll send it to third world countries probably and write it off.
Yeah, well, I have to get to work, but boy, Revelation was correct. Right will be wrong and wrong will be right. We're so upside down and backwards, we don't know the way up.
Yep, I agree.
Take care, guys.
All right, hey, thanks for the call. Yeah.
Yeah, you hear me say, Tom, when men are ruled by laws and not morals, everything's acceptable.
Yep, there you are.
Go.
Well, I don't know. You think Nike would? What do you got to show every design to Kaepernick before you can put it out on the market? What's the deal?
Well, exactly. That's what's so
and
scary,
why does he all of a sudden come up with this idea? I'll bet it's not his idea. He probably doesn't even know what the American flag and Betsy Ross first design even looks like. So I'm sure that one of his entourage probably alerted him to this, and then he's got to make a call to Nike, and Nike goes, "Oh my God! Oh, gee, we didn't have no idea. I don't know." So they could have put the 50 stars on there, and no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they can change them. They'll send them back over to Bangladesh and have them put the right flag on it.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. So. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back with more right after this. 7 minutes till the top of the hour. It's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 56 degrees outside. Welcome back to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, and we have a caller patiently waiting on the line. So, caller, you are on the air. What's going on?
This is Montana Tom.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Good. How you doing?
Living my dream, man. Living my dream.
Listen, I have an idea. We should put a picture of Colin Kaepernick on the bottom of each Nike shoe.
Ah, there you are. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the sole of the shoe, then people will be walking around on him.
Yeah.
That way I'll buy Nikes in and I'll be walking on Colin Kaepernick every time I take a step.
All
I'm
right.
going to start taking hour-long walks and buying Nikes.
All right. There you go, man. Good for you.
All right, well, I'll let you go here.
All right. Hey, thanks for waiting. We appreciate it. Thanks for the call. You going to come and see us on Friday the 26th? You're going to stop by and check us out?
Yeah, you said you're at the GranTree?
Yeah, we're going to be at the GranTree on the backside there in the Hyalite Room, 26 Friday, 6 to whenever. So, yeah, come on.
Bring your friends.
Come on out
Make
and
sure
see
you
us.
bring a carload.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now, wait a minute. Is this 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you're gonna have a sparse population there.
Yeah,
No, I'll be in the house at 6 a.m. You know.
Yeah,
Tom.
yeah. Shane's going to be in town, and we'll be on the air together in the studio at 6 a.m. and then we're going to be at the GranTree at 6 p.m. So,
okay,
yeah, come on out and see us.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, we'll see you.
All right. All right, 5 minutes before the top of the hour, Shane. Well, we talked about everything except what we were going to talk about here. We haven't even got to local stuff yet, which is the way the show goes sometimes. But let's see. Let's take some text line here from our text line 478-8298. Just found 370,000 Union soldiers died to free the slaves. Where's their salute?
Exactly.
And let's see, you really believe Nike didn't focus this to death to decide what the point of your pressure they'd recall them? Come on, Tom, you're better than the comment you made. Well, I don't know. It seems pretty unusual that 2 or 3 days before July 4th, these shoes are pulled off the market. Apparently because of a phone call by Kaepernick. But yeah, I believe they probably did focus them to death, but they focused them to people who didn't think Betsy Ross was a flag of slavery. So
craziness.
Yeah. So to decide at what point of your pressure they'd recall them, well, apparently it's Kaepernick going public is what pulled them.
Well, yeah, Trey, and Nike hasn't had a good year, with the crazy porn lawyer suggesting Avenatti said would threaten them. And they have this major lawsuit with the NAACP, the NCCA, about funding college students and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, they're not doing well. It's a big company. I mean, 73,000 employees. Wow.
Yeah. But I just think this is I don't know. I think this is kind of nitpicky and I don't know if it's a race issue or not. Whether I have no clue how much Nike sells to Asians, blacks, Muslims, Puerto Ricans, or whatever. So. But I know that there are a lot of people who Kaepernick has, drawn to his corner. And apparently it must be enough for Nike to say, well, okay, we're out of here with this, with this investment. So.
Well, and what do they do with all the tennis shoes? I know what they'll do. They'll go sell them in China.
Well, they'll probably just send them to third world countries and write it off, to whatever. I mean, that's what happens to all the sports memorabilia that, anytime there's a championship game, both teams have we're the champs made up shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff. And that ends that ends up over in, some country somewhere where they can certainly use the clothes. So why not?
Yeah, there you go.
There you are. All right. Well, coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to be, we'll try and do some local news at the top of the hour.
Well, you've got Jeff Krauss in the house today, so you do local news for that.
Well, that's true. We got Jeff Krauss will be in at 8 o'clock. We'll be chatting with him and about what's going on in the city and everything. Yeah, we can do that. And don't forget, coming up on June 26th, that's a Friday, I believe. We'll be at the GranTree. Shane and I live and in person, both alive and there together.
At 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m., not 6 a.m. But Shane will be on the air with me in studio, and we'll tape some of that so that we'll put it on our Facebook page and our website page, Shane and I in the house together. And we'll be at the
Important to
GranTree.
mention, no cost.
No cost to
Doesn't
you.
anything.
Yeah.
Right. It's free. It's a free night.
Free to you, yeah. We
what it
would like for you to RSVP with our app chat, if you wouldn't mind. The app chat is right next to the listen button on your smartphone, or you can text us at 478-8298 and let us know, because we've got to figure food. So we need to know how many people might show up. So
I say 200.
do you think 200 will come? I don't know. Well,
faithful listeners will show up. Yep.
We'll see. All right. Well, anyway, let us know if you're going to make it or not, and we'll be talking about that. So, all right. Yep. Top of the hour. We'll be back with local news and the 5 things you need to know, and then Jeff Krauss will join us at 8:00, and we'll be talking with him about whatever the dumb things the City Commission is doing. So we'll be talking about all of that to come. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after the news. It is 6 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m., Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 59 degrees outside. Looking for a high in the mid-70s today. Shane Matavin on the line with me. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor. And this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And Shane, in local news, coalition of conservation groups want a federal judge to block construction on a new trail in the Crazy Mountains.
Wow.
I know.
Isn't that great? You know.
Well, in an injunction request filed Friday, attorneys representing 5 groups that sued over public access to 4 trails in the range asked U.S. Magistrate Judge Timothy Carvin to bar construction of the Porcupine Ibex Trail, a Forest Service project that would reroute depending on which side of the Mississippi you live on.
Yeah, exactly.
reroute an old trail where a landowner had blocked public access until a decision is made in the lawsuit. So the request was filed last week after the Custer Gallatin National Forest awarded a contract worth about $27,000 to Bow Trails Incorporated to build a new trail and obliterate parts of the old trail. So.
Wow. Make it safe, in other words.
What's the problem if you've got a trail? I mean, isn't that the important part?
Well,
who cares where it goes? What do you say? I'm not taking that trail because I know where it goes.
Well, yeah, it's so funny because if you ever visit New England, you know, Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine up there, you know, all the trails up there were created by animals.
Yeah.
You know, and then people just started following them on horses, and then they followed them on, you know, carriages, and you know, then they became 1-lane roads. You know, like, it's a natural process. I mean, animals produce trails all the time. I guess, you know, that crazy just to make something safe for people, and they want to interfere with it. Yeah,
well, it is crazy, and that's why they call it the Crazy Mountains, I guess. So I don't know. I guess you're crazy to go there and hike because the trails don't go where you want them to. I don't know. That's so anyway.
Crazy.
I don't know. Anyway, the 5 groups: the Friend of the Crazy Mountains, the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers Montana Chapter, Skyline Sportsmen, and Enhancing Montana's Wildlife Habitat, are asking the judge to grant an injunction before August 1st. So,
wow. So
there you are. So,
and will he grant it, do you think?
Well, I don't know. The groups argue that the Forest Service approved the trail in a way that skirted public and environmental review. That of course, is the problem. We have to have an environmental review. What's the impact of this trail going to have on the Crazy Mountains? I mean, come on. They also argue that forging ahead with a trail construction could harm big game habitats and that the agency should protect access to the old trails instead. So,
well, big game would use the trails.
I would think so. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Benny and Bill go out for a walk and go, well, this is nice.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there's no holes on this trail, and you know, we can the children. It's wide open, and the children we don't have to worry about the children. And
I don't have to jump over anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Well, I don't know. I guess by August 1st, if we're still here, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Bozeman Health gets the green light on their $20 million surgery center. That is going in the three-story, 60,000 square foot building will be at Huffine Lane and South Cottonwood Road. This is it will house an outpatient surgery center on the first floor, specialty services on the second, and primary care on the third. There will also be space for medical offices. I think that may be, I'm not sure if that's I don't think that's where the Bozeman Health is going in. I think the report may be wrong on that one. We'll have to ask Jeff Krauss about that, because I know they're also putting Bozeman, I'm sorry, this is Bozeman Health, not Billings. Billings is the one I'm thinking of. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Okay, this is correct then. It is going in at Cottonwood, and they got a sign out there coming in 2020. So they got to go ahead and do that. I'm sorry, I was confusing it with the Billings one that's coming in out by Outback and out in that area. So anyway, they said the project is a way to bring care closer to home as more neighborhoods and buildings arrive on the west end of town. Ultimately, this area is going to be the center of Bozeman as we look to the future. A lot of people have said that out on Huffine will be the center of Bozeman. A lot of it's going to move away from downtown, and 7th and 19th and whatever is going out by Ferguson Farms and out in that area. So I guess we'll see. I don't know if I'll be around to see that, but we'll see, I guess. Well, I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but at any rate, we'll see how that goes. So, and let's see, in other news, Bullock is open to the Keystone XL Pipeline. Wow, that's kind of an about face for a Democrat.
Wow, that is about face.
He said Monday during an online meeting about climate change that he's open to supporting the Keystone Pipeline if it's done right, a departure from other Democrat presidential candidates who condemn the proposed oil line from Canada as an environmental threat. Well, pipelines are hardly... Pipeline. It's a pipeline. Let's say hardly an environmental threat, but what can I tell you? So. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Yeah, I believe what you hear to an extent about the growth, because I'll just tell you, like in Las Vegas, back in 1981, 82, where I lived was on the edge of town.
Yeah, it was all Fremont Street, wasn't it, down there somewhere? And then...
Hell no, man! I would never live in that. That's always been the worst part of town.
Oh, has it? Okay. Well,
hey, you know what? Let me tell you something.
No wonder I lost so much money down there.
You never live with streets that are named first, second, third. You never live in areas where the government is situated, because anything called the Heights. The garden. They all become projects, man, eventually.
Okay. So, all right. Good to know.
So anyways, it was more out towards Red Rock. And it was like 15, 18 miles off the strip. Yeah. And that is now the center of town. That's where Scum City Summer was.
What was the street the old strip was on? Didn't they cover that?
Fremont Street?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to.
Well, that's what I thought it was. I thought old Las Vegas was Fremont Street, but
we used to cruise Fremont Street on Friday, Saturday nights. Pick up chicks. Go carousing as all teenagers did.
Yeah.
And but now it's all walking plaza.
Yeah.
Anyways, I haven't been back there, but I think I'm going to be back there in a few months for a short period. But it will be the center of town if they.
Yeah, that was a creation of Steve Wynn because he owned a Golden Horseshoe and he wanted to bring people back downtown. So he came up with that concept of putting the roof over Fremont Street and making it basically an enclosed mall.
Yeah, Steve Wynn can bite me.
Yeah.
You know what he did? Steve Wynn did to people in trailer parks out there that were actually the same thing that we're having done out here.
Yeah.
Is he said, well, state law says $4,000. That's the most you're going to get.
Yeah.
You move, you're screwed. And what did he do? He built the Mirage. Well, it was at the Mirage. It was Treasure Island.
Yeah.
And that other resort right there, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, watch where your money flows.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call. Yeah. Yeah, it's well, that's the growth happens.
One day we should talk about what Steve Wynn did to Las Vegas and junk bonds.
Oh,
and
yeah.
how junk bonds changed industry in the United States in the 80s. That would be a good conversation.
Yeah. Well, plus he was involved in the Me Too generation as well. I think he was. He was. Whatever. Don't need to go there today, I guess. But well, the big thing about the XL pipeline that most people don't know about, and that the environmentalists, don't care about, is this pipeline would produce $63 million a year. Every year it's in existence, every single year, in property taxes for some of the poorest counties in Montana, paid for by who? A Canadian company.
I know. I know.
Why not put this bad boy through?
That's right. It's like, that's like 90 million Canadian that they'd be forking out. Yeah.
Yeah. And plus they are, they're on the hook for any environmental cleanup as well.
Of course.
That's part of the deal. That's part of the deal.
Is part of the deal. Yeah. And they have to have secured equipment
Yeah.
On the route of the on the route of the pipeline.
Yeah.
And they're small. They're not a large number of jobs, but there's maintenance jobs all along it, which on the part of the pipeline that's not buried. But the vast majority of it is buried.
Yeah. Well, that's it's a no-brainer. I mean, Trump signed off on it, and I'm not sure why it's taking so long to get it done. But
yeah,
anyway.
I mean, the only thing that's not buried are the pumping stations. But it's a wonder of technology. It really is. It's 21st century technology. So
pipelines have improved dramatically. I mean, they've got sensors, they've got automatic shutoffs. They've got everything that, can mitigate this stuff. And, every year they get better at it. You don't hear about pipelines, like you do barges on rivers or, trucks or trains derailing or stuff like that. With pipelines, it's just...
Oh, the Alaskan pipeline's been around for like 60 years, and I think it's 2/3 of the pipeline is above ground.
Yeah.
The only pipeline that's below ground is not to interfere with the traditional, movement of animals.
the hibernation of various...
the reindeer, the migration of reindeer.
Yeah, migration. Corridors.
So I mean, it's a very sad commentary for the importance of what drives the global economy, this commodity, to be harassed like this. It's just very sad.
Yeah. Without oil, you wouldn't have lipstick, so couldn't put it on a pig.
Well, but the thing about it is, it upsets me is that these environmentalists that come in with these claims, they don't get bonded.
No, they don't. Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah. Lose your bond. Lose your bond if you lose your case. Yeah.
Yeah, the federal government should pass rules that if you're gonna stop something, you gotta be bonded. Meaning, you're gonna put up the money to cover the cost of what you're preventing.
Right. There you are. All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. 21 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. It is July 2nd, 2019, and 62 degrees outside, looking for a high in the mid-70s. Shane Matobin on the line. Tommy Goloff, your morning mayor, and the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And we got all kinds of celebrations coming up, Shane, that we want to put out on the air on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Livingston will hold its annual parade downtown. Of course, we've talked about that forever. Part of the Livingston Roundup Rodeo, which includes 3 nights of rodeo, July 2nd to the July 4th at the Park County Fairgrounds, beginning nightly at 8 o'clock. So more information, go to livingstonroundup.com for that. Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, Main Street in Ennis will be closed to traffic for the 84th annual 4th of July parade in Ennis, so you'll want to be on hand for that. It's free to register a float, of course, and the barbecue at Peter T. Park will follow the parade. Find the details at ennischamber.com. At 2 o'clock on Thursday, the Museum of the Rockies in Bozeman will provide a free ice cream social at the Living History Farm there. People can enjoy Wilcoxon's ice cream, live music, historic games and crafts. And the Tinsley House will be open, and the event is open to the public. For more information, visit montana.edu/calendar. Gallatin Empire Lions Club will host its annual Festival of the Fourth at the Gallatin County Fairgrounds on Thursday, and the Lazy Owl String Band will play live music, and local vendors will sell food and drinks. And at 9 p.m., the Bozeman Symphony will perform a patriotic program. A traditional fireworks display will start at 10:30. The event is free, open to the public, and kid-friendly. More information at bozemanchamber.com. Virginia City will also have a fireworks display on Thursday starting at dusk. The show will be located in the Boot Hill area, and spectators can bring blankets and sit on the library's grass lawn, and visit virginiacity.com for more information. And in Big Sky, the Arts Council of Big Sky will present a free concert featuring the Tiny Band at the Town Center Park. Park opens at 6 p.m. with vendors and crafts for the kids, and the music starts at 7, followed by fireworks at dusk. So for those of you who decide to stay home on the 4th of July, the city asks that fireworks be used only between noon and 1 a.m. So there you are. A lot happening, Shane, in around the area here. And, of course,
it's a celebratory week. I mean, this is one of the great weeks of the year for you.
That's right, it is. And, of course, the big event, July 4th, we will be covering the Bozeman Parade live right here from our studios with Shane and myself and Jennifer Bordy and Harry Kirschenbaum, my old partner from Open Range Days, will be here. And we'll be covering all the floats and the bands and the parade information here. So that will start at 8 a.m. on July 4th, right here on AM 1450 KMMS. We always cover these parades quite extensively, so by all means.
And my sources are giving me all kinds of tips about the floats. I can't disclose my sources.
That's right. You can't do that. Yeah.
We are news people, so we have to keep our sources to ourselves and protect their interests.
That's right.
But I'm up to 5 floats now that I have some idea about. It's turning into a very interesting opportunity for
That's right, man. The floats are kept at a secret location in Bozeman, of course, until they are revealed to you and us at 8 o'clock on July 4th. We'll be here in studio on that morning to bring you the 873rd annual 4th of July Parade in Bozeman.
That's right. Then they're kept locked and keyed in an empty warehouse that remains empty.
That's right. Yep. For all intents and purposes, the whole thing is empty.
That's correct.
Well, I'm sad to report that 23 people died on state roads in June. Wow. There's no real, it wasn't all alcohol or it wasn't all this or that, but for whatever reason, 5 of the last 10 years exceeded the average. So I don't know whether it's logging trucks and people, visitors to Montana that aren't aware of our roads or speed limits or whatever, but it's, wow. Kind of an issue there, but yeah, we've got some deaths going on there that are quite the problem. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too is these thunder clouds that come through your state, they can flash drop a storm like an ocean, like anywhere. So it's that can be dangerous on the highway.
Okay. From our text line 478-8298. The Gallatin Empire Lions Club is saying there will not be a symphony at the fireworks this year. So maybe because of the lack of a conductor.
No, right, exactly.
there may not be a symphony. Shane and I could come out and do it, I guess, but that probably wouldn't work very well. But
the Righteous Eagle man would figure out a good rip on the.
We would figure out a good way to do that. Well, I apologize for putting out that information, so we'll correct that. The Empire Lions Club will not be a symphony at the fireworks this year. So that may have been planned earlier before all this happened. So thanks to Brian for letting us know that, and we appreciate it very much. So. Also, from our text line, 478-8298, 1881, James Garfield, shot in D.C., died 79 years later. And we were going to cover that in our day in history, but we didn't get to it because we had calls and everybody else was wanting to talk about everything else.
Yeah, so. But the thing we got to cover this day in history. Come on, we got to cover this. We've got to mention
what, Garfield?
The Roswell UFO incident.
Well, I wasn't gonna do that because we'll be getting phone calls for the rest of the time, the rest of the week on UFOs and whatever.
I had to do it. I'm sorry, Rock Band. I had to do it.
That's right. In 1947, an object that the Army Air Force later said was a weather balloon crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. Eyewitness accounts gave rise to speculation it might have been an alien spacecraft, and we've been debating that ever since. And
what an industry it created! Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Well, I still think if there are alien spacecrafts up there, due to the vast distances in space and all of that, I think it's people from the future coming back to straighten us out. That's why Hillary wasn't elected. Aliens came back and fixed the election for Trump. Exactly. So.
Yeah, and like everyone said, I mean, if they're looking down and watching dogs leading people around all the time, they're wondering, like, oh my gosh.
Well, the other thing too, I don't think they'd be flying around with lights. I mean, I don't know. It's just me.
I don't know. It's just you. Yeah.
Anyway. All right, we're not going there. Okay, we're not going.
I knew that would work.
We'll be back with more local stuff and the 5 things you need to know right after this. 23 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 63 degrees outside. We're looking for a high in the mid-70s. Shane Taubman on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. Half man, half amazing. Tom Eagle up, your morning mayor in the house. And Jeff Krauss will be joining us at 8 o'clock this morning, and we'll be talking with him. And well, I was surprised to read the other day, Shane, that 13 counties had tornado warnings in Montana. We just don't hear that very often. And,
no.
And we're all familiar with blizzards and wind and chill and wildfires and droughts and floods and all of that stuff, but we don't think too much about funnel clouds. And But geography and complex topography conspire to make it extremely difficult for tornadoes to form in southwest Montana. We just don't have we got too many hills and mountains and valleys and stuff like that it just doesn't happen very often. So, but the possibility increases in central and eastern parts of the state where it's flat. We're more agricultural over in
and out in the prairies.
Yeah, out in the prairies and whatever. The classic Great Plains tornadoes is a whirling vortex that speeds exceeding 200 miles an hour. In some extreme cases, often spawned by the base of a rotating supercell thunderstorm.
Correct,
And the familiar condensation funnel, often augmented by debris, which can vary in length from a few tens of yards, which is called a rope, to a mile or more, which is a wedge. And a tornado or a funnel cloud, what matters is whether the spinning winds reach the surface. So in some cases, they will just spin above the surface and pull up some dust and, light leaves and things like that. But when they come down on the surface, of course, that's when the damage really occurs and they really start going.
And the need for it to accelerate depends greatly on the amount of debris it absorbs.
Right.
If it doesn't absorb any light debris, meaning like if it's just dirt or that breaks it up because it's heavy.
Yeah.
As it moves to the top of the vortex of the cloud. But yeah, with the easterly winds that suck everything over the Rockies, it actually comes over there at a huge speed. It's like siphoning. People all know what it's like siphoning a fish tank or
sure.
A pond.
Mhm.
And so when the warm air on the east side of the mountain sort of sucks that front over, and then into the foothills, it sort of lifts it up.
Yeah.
Then it sort of
Mhm.
climbs in altitude, and then it starts getting shoveled across your state. So it moves rather rapidly. That's another reason why you don't get a lot of
Yeah.
it, because
Mhm.
it's flat space out there, and so these fronts just move across it really quickly. Now you do get the snow because of the coldness and everything, but and of course the rain.
Yeah. Well,
But it
yeah. The National Weather Service database of storms goes back to 1950, and looking for funnel clouds in Gallatin County. A weak tornado caused minor damage somewhere in the Bozeman area on June 15, 1960. Two others hit near Trident in May of 1994 and north of Manhattan in July of 1997 with no real damage. The only funnel cloud reports were from south of Bozeman in May of 2007 and some from Manhattan, Logan area in 2017. Now, the one back in 2007, I can remember in our, where we live there, looking out our front deck and watching a 30-foot tree fall over on a place right across the street from us. It was really blowing, and it uprooted several trees in our area there. So I don't know if that was an actual tornado or whether it was just really high wind or what. But anyway, it did a lot of damage, none to our place, thankfully. But next door or across the street, I said, they fortunately the tree itself fell, but it didn't hit the house. It just was at an angle. It had to be taken out later on.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was pretty fortunate for those folks. But there were some other places there where the trees did fall on homes, and so it was kind of whatever.
Well, we're pretty protected in Vancouver from Vancouver Island from what they call cyclones.
Mm-hmm. It's cyclones in the Pacific, and it's hurricanes in the Atlantic. Yeah.
But we had one back in 2011 that hit Vancouver Island, swept over the top of it, and came through the harbor of Vancouver and hit Stanley Park. Mm-hmm. And in the hour and a half, the winds were over 100 miles an hour and blew over 10,000 trees in the park. It took them like 6 years to clean it up. It was driving through the park. It was like so scary. Seeing the wind damage. Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Where's our time here? Let's take a break, and then we'll come back with the 5 things you need to know right after this. 15 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. 62 degrees outside. Looking for a high in the mid-70s. Shane Tobin, who will be live with me on the air in studio July 26th, and we'll be live at the GranTree and the Hyalite Room at 6 p.m. on that night. So if you can make it to come down and meet us, we would love to talk to you. We'll have some food, maybe some prizes, and who knows what. You can chat with us and meet some of the callers that you hear regularly here and all of that. Yeah, we hope all the callers will show up and, texters and whatever. And, hey, if you oppose our views, come on down too. So we're fine. We're fine with that.
I just want to say to the listeners, this grew out of Tom and mine's desire to want to thank everyone. We don't know how long we'll be on the air doing the morning show, the morning soapbox.
That's true. Yeah.
And the great Righteous Eagle Man has done such an amazing job, and I've tried to do my best. But it's just a show of respect to all of you people out there that have listened to us and come to visit us every day on the show, and hopefully you find this entertaining. And besides, we want to go out. If we're going to go out, we want to go out big time, like all those big show guys. We do
right.
3 hours a day, 5 days a week. So we figure, we got to have one of these at least once.
You would think so, yeah. Well, and also, too, Shane and I both want to thank everybody for the amazing, that we've had with the morning soapbox. That we've had our downloads pretty amazing over there, over 1,000 downloads of our shows, which is, we're very fortunate to have morning radio here live, to begin with, regardless of who's doing it. But we really appreciate the loyalty you've shown to us while we're here, and we don't want to gloss that over or take it for granted in any way, shape, or form. So
we've been doing this since November.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the end of November, yeah. So we're starting our 8th month here so far. So
wow.
We'll see. And we still don't know what's going on. So
yeah.
But anyway, to continue on with the 5 things you need to know, we are. One of the things we can't seem to find anything on, or at least we couldn't find anything on it at 6 o'clock. There was a report of sarin gas being mailed to Facebook, the Facebook mail facility, and we couldn't find out much about it on any of the news shows. But if anybody has any up-to-date info on that, by all means, give us a holler, because that's kind of a serious thing. We don't know if it's sarin gas for sure or not, but we will certainly try to keep abreast of that story. And if it is sarin gas, certainly that would be a serious thing. But they had a hazmat crew out there. We saw it on the news this morning, but I can't find anything about it on any of the online news shows yet. So maybe they're waiting for confirmation or waiting for more information before they break that news. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
So AOC was on the news recently, yesterday, today.
Yeah.
And, of course, that stands for Alexandria Occasionally Crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if occasionally would fit. She seems like she's always crazy.
Always crazy. So
props to you.
Anyway, so AOC was on the news recently and just bemoaning the plight of the poor refugees, illegal aliens, immigrants, whatever you want to call them. Okay, we want to be a compassionate country. We want people to be treated humanely and decently. But here's my issue. 1 in 5 children, I just heard on the radio, 1 in 5 children in this country go hungry every day. Okay, every day. You've got veterans who are homeless or disabled, and they don't get the care they need if they can get health care, if they even have a home. You've got old people.
And over 10 are committing suicide every day.
Yeah, that's awful. That's terrible, those poor guys. And you got old people choosing between, do I eat? Do I pay for heat? Do I pay for my medicines? Which do I choose today? You've got old people who have so little in their Social Security, they can't afford to live in a nice retirement community if even in their own home. They'll be relegated off to some little hole somewhere, cold, hot, and scared and alone until they die. So it's all about votes with the Democrats. With these immigrants coming over, illegal aliens, refugees, all they want is votes, because otherwise, maybe they'd be caring about our own people. Of course, the children, the 1 in 5, they can't vote. Veterans, especially if they're homeless or disabled, they might not be able to get to a polling place. The old people who are choosing between medicine or food or heating their home, maybe they're too senile to care or even vote. So, again, it's all about votes. So, if our own people got the same billing, same time, media time or whatnot from Democrats and the media, it would be so much better. I mean, we want to be a compassionate country. We want to care for everyone that we can, but why aren't we caring for our own citizens first?
Well, I think the Democrats have missed this because they own it. Whatever complaint she has about what's going on down there, she owns it. She's stopped the efforts of your government to take care of these people and fund it, to take care of these. They said this didn't exist, that this wasn't something that your president made it up. And now they turn around and start complaining about the care because they don't want to provide the funding for it. So, it's just, and I don't think they think the American people are smart enough to realize what they're doing, and people like you are clearly understanding what the Democrats are doing.
It's just a travesty. Our own citizens are being pushed aside and not being cared for, but we want to pour so much care on these immigrants and these illegal aliens.
Well, I'd argue with you if I could.
You can't. You're right.
No, I can't.
You're right.
So, well, it's a sad situation here because it's very obvious to anybody, any right-thinking American, that these people are being used as pawns, political pawns.
What do you think? Are these illegal aliens, these refugees, immigrants, are they the Democrats' Trojan horse?
Well, yeah, sort of. Well, they're looking for anything to stick to Trump, and this isn't going to stick to him because, they started out, as Shane rightly pointed out, there's no crisis at the border. This is manufactured. Trump's making it up. And all of a sudden, we got 100,000 people a month at caravans right and left. And, it's obvious to anyone that this is a crisis. And Nancy was forced into the corner of finally approving this $4.6 billion in aid down there, because otherwise they were going to go on their July 4th vacation, and that's just going to fester while she's gone or while they're gone. So they were forced into a corner to give Trump another win.
And whose policies have helped to create this crisis? The Democrats have never wanted to protect our southern border.
Well, no. Well, when the Hispanics were all voting Republican, they were all for closing down the border and doing everything else. And now that Hispanics have started to come around and say, well, gee, I guess we can ignore that abortion that we don't like, but for all the free stuff, I guess that's a fair trade-off. And so
for all that free stuff, sure.
Yeah, now we want everybody rolling in here to vote for us.
Yeah.
And we'll get around the fact they're illegal. We'll give them driver's licenses. We'll give them this. We'll give them that. And, there's just not enough manpower to keep illegals from voting, I don't think.
I have a question. I have a question for you. Did you watch the debates?
I was not able to watch the second one.
Okay. So the second night, they asked them voting questions. They said, like, would you provide health care for illegal immigrants? And everyone on the stage raised their hand.
Free health care. Free health care.
I think that's the end of the election because that's on video. I mean, any one of those people that end up with the nomination from Friday night, they're in serious trouble.
I was going to say, as you point out, veterans can't get in the VA in some cities, but, these people go to the head of the line at an emergency room.
And why hasn't someone in the House or Senate, I forget where it starts, proposed the amendment to change the Constitution so that if you're born in the United States, you're not automatically a citizen if your parents aren't citizens? Mm-hmm. That should have been changed 130 years ago, shortly after the Civil War.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the call. I've got to take a break, and we appreciate your thoughts very much. Thank you. We'll be right back. 2 minutes before the top of the hour, Jeff Krauss will join us at 8 o'clock, and we'll be chatting with him about what the stupid stuff the city's doing, and we'll find out about that. Hey, don't forget, mark down July 26th on your calendar, 6 p.m. Shane and I will be live at the GranTree in the Hyalite Room, and we hope you will come out and visit with us, meet us. You can meet, sure, some of the callers will show up, so you can meet some of those folks and exchange ideas and talk to us, ask us anything you want. Why do we support a Neanderthal like Trump? We're open to any questions you have. And so we'll have food, maybe some prizes and some fun things out there. If I can, I've got a month to wrangle some free stuff from somebody. So we'll see if we can get some gift certificates or something to give away that evening, and take care of you guys for supporting us so well. We really appreciate it, and we'd love to meet you, love to talk to you, and we're just regular folks just like you. We just happen to be here.
I'm gonna make a point to try to go to the dollar store and ask them. I'm going to ask the management what Chinese products in your store have gone up in price. Okay?
Right? Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to buy a few if any of them have, and I'll bring you all.
Okay. Yeah.
If any of them have gone up in price, I'll bring a couple to give away just to make everybody happy.
There you go. Okay. Let's take a quick phone call. We got to go. Caller, you are on the air. You got about a minute. What's up?
Oh, good morning, Tom and Shane. How you guys today?
Good.
Good. Yes. Good. Hey, I'm sorry I'm going to miss the event on the 26th. I'll be out of town. But,
man.
I'd sure love to come. Just curious.
All right.
I did want to find out though for the parade, are there any rules and regulations to? Obviously, it's going to be on the air.
Yeah.
But, I mean, are there any?
The only rules are you can't use the 8 words I can't say. Other than that, it's open season on the floats.
Yeah, so if you see a parade, if you see a float during the parade, call in and tell us what you see.
That's right.
Well, that's I hear tell there's going to be an international contingency. So,
yeah, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm up against the clock. Thanks a lot. Okay, yeah. 6 minutes after the hour of 8 a.m., it's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 64 degrees outside. Jeff Krauss is outside, I think, or somewhere. I'm not sure where he is. I guess he's on his way in. He's on his way in. I'm so excited. He's here. He's here. Yeah, well, we keep the place locked up so, ne'er-do-wells don't get in here. So we've got...
Krauss is in the house.
Well, you succeeded.
He's here. He's here. He's ready to go.
Yeah, locked out, man.
Well...
You got the guest star locked out there.
We got to keep the riffraff out.
I'm telling you, and then I went to the green room and the M&Ms hadn't been separated.
Oh, well, boy, this is not good.
It's not, yeah.
So what did the city do stupid last night? Heard you have a meeting last night because it's July 4th.
Well, we did have a meeting last night. We aren't meeting very much in July. We're not meeting the 22nd or 29th or 8th.
Yeah.
And I looked on the reason for why we weren't meeting, and it said because the city commission decided. So we had to vote on this.
You had to vote on not meeting.
We had to vote on not meeting. We do have to do that. But the reason given was because we decided. Well, we'd already decided before we decided? I don't know. Boy, that was one I couldn't figure out. Someone decided for us, apparently.
It sounds like the city I know.
Yeah, it does. Very much so. All of this we talked about this on Sunday, and it's all been decided.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they you didn't get the memo, or?
Yeah, no, I don't get the memos, right? Because I always tell them we decide that stuff on Monday.
Yeah. So.
That's what Monday night is for, is to decide stuff, not Sunday afternoon or Saturday.
So the 4 of them met, and it was a 4-1. Huh? Another 4-1.
Another 4-1. Yeah. So I don't think we did. We keep approving lighting districts there on the West End where, the lights are too tall, they're too bright, they're not shielded fore and aft, and we wonder why the West Side doesn't look like the downtown that everybody loves. When 15 years ago, 16 years ago, we said, well, we're going to build more of what we like in this town.
Yeah.
And that got hijacked. That really did. We didn't build more of what we liked in this town. We built more of what everybody in every other town in America has. And so you ask why? Well, there's rules, right? Engineers have rules. The engineers have rules that this road has to go this fast.
The design police have rules.
The design police have rules. So one of my favorite ones is all the lights on the West Side, right? Which the homeowners have to pay for, but they don't want because they shine in their second-story windows,
right? Yeah.
Or they light the roof. There is no public policy necessary to light roofs of houses on the West Side. It doesn't look anything like the East Side, and that is because, well, the speed limits are higher. So the lights have to be brighter and there have to be more of them. Well, who said this? Who said this? First of all, that the speed limits have to be higher.
Yeah.
Or that No one, actually. No one ever said that except for the design group. And, there's there's a 200-page book somewhere stashed at the city that says this is how the city's going to look. I don't care what I say on Monday night. It's going to look like that regardless of what I say.
Yeah.
And that's been the case for years now. Wait till Cottonwood gets done. I'm going to call it Jackrabbit Road East.
Yeah. It's going to be
It's going
to be an extravaganza going clear past the high school, I guess. Out there,
and you can tell they got enough room to build an interstate.
Oh yeah, it's it's if you've been down Cottonwood on the right hand side as you're going north.
Yeah,
I mean, you could play football there.
There's a soccer field there now. You don't want to look at it too much though, or you might fall in one of those lunar craters.
That's true.
That's in the road right now. There are some significant craters in the road, and you can imagine if Wilson Avenue looked like Cottonwood Road, there'd be 40 trucks out there fixing it right now.
Amen,
right?
For
but
sure.
It's Cottonwood Road. There's no one. It's a ghost town out there.
Yeah. Well, all the trucks going to the high school really decimated that road. All the gravel trucks and the stuff hauling the steel and everything, the concrete and everything.
It was all dirt. I couldn't figure out. There was people hauling dirt out, and there was people hauling dirt in, and that's still the case.
I know, yeah.
So they're hauling the dirt in and
we
out.
have topsoil. You get topsoil in there.
There's good dirt and there's bad dirt, right?
Yeah,
out
we don't
with
want
the
any
good
crab
and
grass,
in with the bad. So one thing we did very interesting, I think it was a good thing, is we approved Bozeman Health building a surgical center and medical offices on the west side. Which is cool.
We talked a little bit about that this morning. They're going to put that on Cottonwood and Huffine.
Right on the corner there.
By Town Pump.
Right across the street from Town Pump and Billion and First Security Bank, I guess is what's on the corner.
On the other corner,
It's interesting, one of the commissioners made a little run at how many there sure are a lot of parking spots there.
Yeah.
Well, if you've ever been to the hospital, many people go to the hospital, very hard to find a parking spot there between as many people that work there and the people that go there. Very hard to find a hospital space. So I think too many parking spots at the hospital is sort of a modern equivalent of those darn handicapped spots take the good spots up, right? Which is what the boomers thought 40 years ago, right? We've gotten used to the handicapped spots being up front.
Yeah.
Now you have this sort of millennial chant that is, well, too much ground is spent on parking.
Yeah.
Well,
just for the employee parking. I mean, they park up on the hill there and
in the weeds.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that work at the hospital any time of day.
Yeah, it was interesting when Montana Department of Transportation decided that while the one route to the hospital was closed, they would close the other route to the hospital and gravel.
Chip seal it.
And chip seal it. Yeah, which I thought that could have waited a month, right, until we could have straightened that out a little bit. Didn't. And it was interesting because I talked to some city staff about it, and they said, well, we had a transportation plan, and I think those transportation plans survive until the general contractor gets up there and then does whatever the hell he wants, right? So you go out and do this and run the pilot car and whatever. And the other thing that struck me was this idea that we're going to let emergency vehicles through. The people that go to the hospital, the people that go to the wound clinic, the people that go for, that are returning from their
dialysis or something.
Their dialysis or their chemotherapy. They don't want to spend very much time in a car.
No, they don't.
I can tell you when, you don't want to spend much time in a car. Not everybody that goes to the emergency room is in an emergency hospital. And I think so it was badly planned that, what's the important access is the emergency vehicles and nothing else. No, people that go up there to that hospital, which I think is our second or third largest employer also, need to get up there quickly. And so what I would say is it was an access designed by healthy people with complete ignorance of what it means to have to use the hospital
if you're not healthy.
If you're not healthy.
Yeah.
So I think we need some more sensitivity to that particular issue. A lot of older people have to go to wound clinics or burn. There's all kinds of things that they do, and they're not in emergency vehicles, but they're not going to want to sit in a car for 40 minutes waiting for a pilot car or 2 pilot cars.
Yeah, to take them around the.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to go down to Haggerty and around that way too to get out.
And Fort Ellis, and I thought I'd be smart. I'd go to Fort Ellis and loop back around. Well, they were chip sealing the east side and the west side.
I know they were. Yeah.
There was, helicopter. So what is your plan? Helicopter.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. From our text line, 478-8298, we were talking about the lights on the west side. Shine on my bottom store or my bottom story bedroom window. Don't need those bad word lights. Cars have headlights and carry your own flashlight.
Damn right. And the other, so they're supposed to have 0 trespass to the rear.
Right. Yeah.
We haven't addressed the front. Essentially, they should look like they should be first of all, they should be no taller than the tallest stoplight arms.
Yeah.
Nobody's hitting stoplight arms unless they got the dump bucket up, right?
Yeah.
Which don't drive with your dump bucket up.
That's a good idea.
That's for you, George. But if you do, you're going to hit something. But if you don't, then you're going to get under every street light. So they should be no taller than the stop. They should have 0 trespass forward and back.
Yeah.
So they should only go to the edge of the road on the other side.
Well,
and with LED lights, you can design all this into the thing.
Yeah.
Instead, we've gone to the lowest common denominator, which is tallest, brightest, and
what happened if you can't see the sky?
Dark skies ordinance, utter failure, and one of them. So if you go to Valley West, in the interior of Valley West, you see. Lights that are low and very shaded, and they work pretty well. So one of the answers the engineers always give, the roads go faster, so we got to have more lights. Go on West Main by the mall out to, say, there is not a single light there. Speed limit's 45.
Oh, yeah.
Not a single street light on Main Street, Huffine Lane out there. None. 0, nada. And nobody told them it has to be 35 by the elementary school.
Right,
that was not something we all jumped up and said, do that.
Yeah, there you are. Yeah.
Do
they still have the T-Rex lights out?
They do.
Was Cottonwood all the way out where that subdivision was going to be back before the recession?
That is filling in, really. Yeah. I mean, totally filling in. So there is out there.
But I mean, there was a light like every 10 feet or something like that.
Huge.
They were.
They are.
Yeah, they were.
If you go out there
Jurassic
at night,
Park lights.
If you go out there at night, they're pretty focused. I will say, because they have an arm out.
Yeah.
Right.
That they do.
So that we should have that. We don't. The one I always look at it right at the corner of Cottonwood and Durston. There is a light there that shines through the bedroom windows of those 2 condos or apartments or whatever they right there, and that thing didn't rent. Everything else was rented, but that one didn't rent. And so one of the things we've done as a city is we've said, well, we want neighborhood nodes at cross sections of big streets. Have we designed our streets so that we can have neighborhood nodes? No.
Yeah.
That's one. And then second, we've said we want people living along our arterials. And that's what we insist the planners do. Have the engineers caught on to the fact that our arterials are now also residential streets? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Right? We are not building the city for the city residents. We're building it for the commuters.
There you go. We got to take a break. Jeff Krauss, three-time mayor of Bozeman, is in the house with us, and current city commissioner.
And I've had a cup of coffee, and I'm fired up,
he
boy.
is, I'm going to say he's had his Red Bull, and he's ready to go. So we'll try and calm him down during the break. We'll be right back right after this. I like that cowbell in there, so. 23 minutes after the hour. It's Tuesday, July 2nd. We're talking about We're an American Band by Grand Funk Railroad.
Oh, yeah.
That's our break song there that the people on the that get our recordings can't hear the music. So, yeah, they don't get the bumper songs or they don't get any of the commercials.
Well, that's too bad because we're rocking out
we're
here.
We're rocking, well, you know what it is. But the other thing I got to point out to you, over 1,000 downloads of our shows, and you're partly responsible for that because you generate several downloads whenever you're on. So.
Oh, because my ranting is, well, that's all the, that's the people that want to. Thought I was running again, and now that'll taper off. Now they can't use this against me, right?
Right, there you go. So,
go ahead, use it against me.
Yeah, that's
well, I'll stand by anything I say here. Tell you the truth.
Well, good. I hope so.
Anyway, we were joking it up about one of the commissioners thinking that there was too much parking at the surgical ambulatory.
Yeah.
He must have thought that ambulatory meant that you walk in and you walk out.
Yeah,
right. That's the thing about ambulatory is you walk in but they wheel you out.
Right, that would be the question.
And so the handicapped bike racks were. Yeah. The insistence on the handicap bike racks may have been a bit too much, but it's one of those things. I just think I sort of counter, and I'll admit it, both sides of the argument. There's the one that says we don't have enough parking anywhere in town. I don't care where it is.
Yeah,
you can't put a house. You can't put a condo development on that empty space across the street from me. Those people will take up all my parking.
Right.
That's one side of it. And yes, if you live across the street from a vacant lot, someone's going to build on it, and then people will live there and they'll park on the street and they'll have a boat and parking will get difficult. Yes,
whatever,
right?
Yeah, they'll have it all.
So the parking concerns, whether they're downtown or the neighborhoods around downtown or whether they're out in Baxter Meadows, anywhere you go, people will complain about parking.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
There you are.
Car storage is like number one, and the reason is because we all got them.
Yep, we all got 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
So
depending on what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we gotta have the boat, we gotta have the RV, we gotta have the pickup truck with a camper on the back, and
I resemble that remark.
Yeah, there you are.
So
you got the big pickup job.
I got a big pickup. I got an RV. I got a boat. So life is about 2-stroke motors. That
mayor job pays off pretty good, apparently.
Oh yeah, well they're all from the last century.
I see.
Except for my pickup. Everything else I own is
back
from
when
the
you
previous
actually had
century.
Paying job.
Yeah. Yeah, they are, and they were used then when I got them. So,
there you go. All right.
So, buying a new RV, that's a good way to burn up half the cost of that RV when you drive it off the lot.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
there's a lot of depreciation there.
Turns out everybody wants it until you buy it, and then nobody wants it.
Yeah. Yeah. What they say about a boat, it's the day you buy it and the day you sell it's the best day.
Yeah, break out another 1,000. Well, we didn't, let's see. So we did the surgical center. That was very interesting. We added a dog-free area to Camp Swampy, which is, my cute nickname for the Story Mill Park Nature Sanctuary.
Yeah.
So we don't want dogs. The rest of it, so some of it, the dogs have to be on leash. There's a fenced dog, unrestrained dog area. It's interesting, though, if you have an unrestrained dog and it bites a person or another dog in the unrestrained dog area, you get a ticket.
Yeah.
So you just know it. these unrestrained dog areas are for dogs that can be controlled. You have an uncontrollable dog, you take it to an unrestrained dog area in the city, and it does something bad, you'll get charged.
You get charged, but you may also get sued by the other guy.
And justifiably, right?
Yeah. Well, I would think so. Yeah.
Dogs. You are responsible for what your dog does. Your dog knocks someone down on a trail.
Oh yeah.
Breaks their hip. You should be liable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because your dog is not supposed to run up to someone else or, run. So I once read some studies about dog bites, and little kids are the ones that get dog bites, and they like to stick their face up against the dog's face, and so the dog bites them on the head, the face, and the neck.
Yeah.
And can you imagine being a kid getting bit on the head, face, and neck by a dog? And so some responsible ownership of dogs is lacking in this town, certainly. But anyway, we did a.
Well, I think anybody who walks out in their front yard knows that.
Exactly. We belong. There used to be Sherwin-Williams cover the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Bozeman has that slogan too, but it's a different substance.
All right. Well, we'll continue that right after we do the news here at the bottom of the hour. Jeff Krauss is in the house, three-time mayor of Bozeman and current city commissioner Shane Montalban on the line with me. Hey, don't forget, mark down July 26th because Shane and Tom live at the GranTree. Shane and Tom live at the GranTree. We're going to be there at 6 p.m. on Friday, the 26th of July. We'll have food, prizes. I don't know. Well, there'll be dancing if you want to dance. We won't have a band or anything, but you can dance if you want to. I mean, it'll be fine with me. I don't care. So anyway, let us know if you're going to be there. We need to figure out how much food we need. So text us or app chat us as to whether you're coming or not. We'll be right back. 21 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019, 66 degrees outside. Shane Montalban on the line in Vancouver, British Columbia. Jeff Krauss, three-time mayor of Bozeman in the house. Tommy Gloff, your morning mayor. Unelected, but doing a hell of a job. I should be the write-in for mayor.
Yeah, that's it.
For the real mayor, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Out of the room for a minute. Am I coming to what? From our text line. Are you coming to see Shane and I live at the GranTree on July 26th at 6 p.m. at the Hyalite Room? That'll be in the convention center in the back side of the GranTree, and we'll have food and all kinds of stuff, and Shane and I will be there, and hopefully some of the callers will be there, and we'll have tables set up. Everybody can meet each other and talk about what a great show Shane and I put on.
There you go.
Yeah, right. So yeah, if you can make it, absolutely. It's free. We'll give you, we'll even feed you. We'll have some prizes. I need to get around to some of the merchants, see if I can talk them out of gift certificates or something.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a stampede to get there.
It will be a stampede to get there, I'm sure. Seating is limited, probably. So, we're expecting as many as 5 people, so. So anyway, no, we hope a lot of folks will turn out. You'll be there.
Yeah, I think I can make it. Yeah. And in the meantime, let us know you're listening. Call in.
Let us know if you're coming or not, because we've got to figure out how much food we need. So we don't want to run out of food. For
right. Yeah.
People,
what kind of beer nuts you like?
That would be bad. Yeah. Shane and I, the GranTree gave us a choice between somewhere between steak and potato chips. So we've got to figure somewhere in there what we're going to feed you. So I don't know. So anyway, no doggy bags or,
let us know.
No boxes. You can't take it with you.
Do you like your water with ice or without?
Yeah, right. Yeah. We may not be able to spring for ice. I don't know. We'll find out.
And we charge you for any food you don't eat.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to pass the hat for the food. Yeah. No, we're not going to pass the hat for the food. Okay.
Hey, one thing we haven't done is there a list today? You have a Jeff Krauss list?
Do you have a Jeff Krauss list, Shane?
No, I don't have one. No,
we didn't get many calls about the city this week, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so
quiet week.
Yeah, well, it's a holiday. People are kind of relaxing and trying to enjoy 70-degree weather whenever it's not raining all over you.
Yeah, well, it's you got to get to the store and get some hot dogs.
That's true. Yeah, got to get the hot dogs and the buns and all the fixings. Maybe that's what we'll do. I'll have hot dogs for.
It's hot dogs. Hot dogs are a patriotic choice.
Yeah, we can get those cheapies at Walmart, the 99-cent ones, and
Yeah, that are 2 feet long.
Yeah, and bring your own bread.
Yeah, bring your own bun.
Yeah. This is going to be an extravaganza. I can tell already.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's right.
We'll be rocking.
Yeah, well, we'll have to figure out. Maybe Jacobus will spring for a gift certificate.
Yeah, that's right. We got to hit him up.
We'll keep our callers healthy.
Yeah.
With hot dogs and Jacobus.
That's right. Yeah.
He'll be fixing whatever the hot dogs.
Hot dogs with fish oil all over them or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you're on the soapbox with Jeff and Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey,
what is this? Is the city of Bozeman trying to compete with New York and L.A. to see who can become the crowdiest?
Yeah, I think so.
It seems like everywhere you go, there's construction going up.
Yeah, people want to live here. They do.
They do, yeah.
I don't know why,
I don't know why. I've lived here 40 years, and I don't know why anyone would ever want to live here. Yeah.
I know, man. If you're thinking about moving here, it sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, what is this? You got a facility on Lammy and 3rd that's been vacant, run down for, I don't know, a few years now. Ain't nothing being done with it.
Yeah, that's true. That is an interesting situation. You would think we would step in at some point and say that is a health hazard.
You got construction going on Lammy and Wilson.
Is it tied up in a divorce or something? Or
it's owned by a landowner who doesn't know what they're going to do with it yet.
Yeah.
But those are boarded up buildings.
I heard that Steve White owned that place. But can never get it confirmed.
I'd be skeptical about that myself.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
maybe it's another Steve White.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
alias.
Yeah. We have.
Shane, you got to come down here and take it over.
There you are. Yeah, it'll be your summer place.
Yeah, Wilson is seeing a lot of work, right? Wilson and Lammy is having the 111 building going up.
Mm-hmm. It's Lammy and Grand. It's a white apartment complex that's been boarded up for the last few years.
Yeah, that's Lammy and Grand. Yeah, over to 3rd, right? All around that block. That block has some. Yep, those are they're owned by someone, and they haven't done anything with them, and you can't live in them.
No, they're
and they got a lot of graffiti on them that say "Bring back old Bozeman." Well, guess what? That is old Bozeman.
That is old Bozeman. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you are.
It's
Tom
there.
and Shane, I will be there on the 26th.
All right.
Hey, thank you.
Good deal. All right.
You bring in those ribeyes.
We'll be sure to do that.
Bring in the ribeyes.
Yeah, you all have a good morning.
All righty. Thanks for the call. Let's take another call. Caller, you on the air. What's going on?
Good morning. I have a question for Mr. Krauss.
Sure.
Please.
Go for it.
I wondered if he knows what the latest is with the Winco store, and I'll hang up and listen online.
Oh, okay.
Winco. It's still the subject of a lawsuit. That's
That's about all we know.
You know, the city's getting sued for approving it.
Mm-hmm.
And
is there any court date or anything?
I don't know. You know, I let the lawyers,
the attorneys handle
that.
Yeah. Is Marty doing that? He's the county, isn't he?
Marty's
Who's
the
the city?
guy.
Who's the city?
Well, Greg Sullivan is the city attorney.
Maybe we could get him in here sometime and find out more about that, because it is a question we get almost every week.
I don't think he can talk about it, right? I mean, that's the whole thing.
Well, he can talk about the suit itself. I mean,
right. I can talk about the suit itself. You know, so there's a group of employees of other grocery stores that are union.
Albertson and Safeway.
I think so. That are union.
Yeah.
And they are suing, saying that it's not in a suitable location. Which is, you know, it's a kind of a regional grocery store located in our regional commercial, right off of 19th, which is, you know, and close to the interstate, which are two of our best built streets. Huh. So I think it is in an area we've designated for precisely those kinds of stores.
Okay. All right. Let's take a phone call. 522 Talk is the number. Call you on the air with Jeff Krauss. What's up?
Hey, this is Brett.
Yeah.
So, have you guys already talked about what's going on with Hobby Lobby?
As far as I know, it's in progress.
Yeah, I expect it to open.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything that would stop that.
Well, I mean, it doesn't look like there's any work being done on it, and the scuttlebutt is that it's tied up with the city on something.
Well, that could be. There could be something they haven't done.
Inspections or something like that.
Well, I don't know about inspections, but you know, you do have to, when you're finished, you have to get a occupancy permit.
Yeah.
You know, I would think Hobby Lobby, and they're going in where now? I mean,
well,
I don't
the old Hastings building.
The old. Okay.
I can't fathom that our liberal commissioners would have a problem with Hobby Lobby.
I don't think they have anything to do with it, to tell you the truth. I doubt seriously whether any of the commissioners have taken because we didn't approve it. It's not an application we signed.
Yeah, it isn't anything.
So that's all administrative approval that is handled in the engineering and planning office. Now, I will tell you, that subdivision, that development in general has a lot of work to do.
All right.
If you've ever driven through that parking lot, you know it's cratered.
Yeah. Now, that's about the best we can tell you right now. Sorry.
Okay.
We'll try and find out, but hey, thanks for the info.
Yeah.
All right.
No problem.
Thank you.
I don't have any hobbies, so it's probably not a Hobby Lobby, that
I guess. Okay.
I do, but they don't have a lobby.
Yeah. Let's take one more phone call, then we got to get to Rush. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane and Jeff Krauss. What's up?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
You failed to mention at what time?
6 p.m.
Oh, 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, this bash is to honor me, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
My birthday.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
No, it's my birthday.
Well, then we'll have to have a cake for you.
Hot dog cake.
Listen, what's going to go on the Medical Arts Building? Dr. Cash was going around giving notices that it's being sold and demolished.
The Medical Arts Building?
The Medical Arts Building is being sold. I think it has been purchased. I don't know about demolished, but perhaps. I doubt they demolished the tower. We're probably talking about the one story.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Those apartment buildings which are going on, like if this is going to be a city, why not the builders do underground parking? That's what everybody does in
the bigger cities. Yeah, they have underground parking in a lot of places.
Yeah, so I think there's first ground parking at the 111s. Yep, they're liable to be some. Underground's a little difficult. Bozeman is pretty wet down there.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Here it comes. I love this story.
And,
This is the best story.
you can definitely do it as long as you don't put any screen doors in. You know?
Yeah, right. The engineers have convinced you the water table's too high. I love that story. I just think that's the best story I've ever heard.
I know. Well, certainly you can do it. All you got to do is spend more money.
I was going to say almost every house in Bozeman's got a basement. Come on.
And they flood.
Well, maybe.
Jeff, what do you see? What do you see for a town in 10 years?
So,
a lot of growth.
Yeah, I would say we're not going to grow at 4% a year because there's some limits to how fast MSU can grow. At 18,000, they're hitting the targets they set for themselves 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's about where they wanted to be. So, a lot of the growth has been because of MSU, the hospital.
Mm-hmm. The other biggest employer.
I think the hospital and the Billings Clinic continuing to invest in healthcare tells us that we'll
Listen,
still
I'm
see
going to get off the
retirement
phone.
here.
Okay.
Listen,
All right.
I'm getting off the phone. Okay, fellas?
Okay.
Sure.
I think the continued investment by the hospitals, Billings Clinic and the Bozeman Health, tell us that there's an anticipation that we're going to continue to see retired people moving here.
Yeah. And there's going to be some, those are decent paying jobs too at those facilities.
They are.
As well.
Yeah. So those two things are going to continue to happen. I think Belgrade and Manhattan will boom.
Yeah.
So both of those towns, there's about 1,000 units going in Belgrade.
Yep.
That a significant development there.
Well, I think that's where the
north and
affordable
west.
housing may be, at least for the time being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The prices appreciated faster there than they did here, except for in the old part of town.
Well,
so,
the demand for
housing.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see Belgrade and probably Manhattan. I don't know that people are willing to drive over the Bozeman Pass, so I don't know if Livingston will get hammered quite as hard.
Yeah.
But Bozeman, I think, will continue to gentrify in the old parts of town, and it will continue to grow in the to the west.
All right. Got to take a break. Got to get the Rush update in here. So here's Rush. All right, we got about a minute and a half left here. We got a caller waiting on the phone. So, caller, you are on the air. What's up?
Okay, I just wanted to go real quick here, Jeff. This is Jerry. I was wondering when we're going to get started on the Jeff Krauss Swim Center out on the west side.
Well, there is one out there. It's called the West Gallatin River.
Come on, man. If you ever, you go down to Bogart Pool here at the end of July, and you can walk all over that pool on everybody's head. It's so packed.
I think we chase soccer fields instead of so we got $10 million worth of soccer fields out there. Rather than another hole in the ground, a reasonable hole in the ground, $5 million or so, that would have been another pool. Because everybody wanted to make a $28 million pool instead of making a $5 million pool.
No, I think you and I need to sit down, and I can build you a pool for about $4, just like Bogart, okay? And we'll just get this going. Because we need another outdoor pool.
And it needs to be on the west side.
Gotta go.
Agree. Yep.
Gotta go. Thanks a lot. Say goodbye, Shane.
Bye, Mayor. Talk to you tomorrow morning. Jeff, have a great day. Everyone be happy, be safe.
All right. All right, Jeff, thanks a lot for being here. And
pleasure.
We're out of time, so we'll see everybody tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.